Oh, okay. Hi. So I'm trying this thing out. Let me see. This is my first time doing YouTube Live, so I'm wondering if I could. I'm gonna mess around with the format a little bit. Okay, looks like I can pull up the live video on my laptop. But basically, the point of this video was I just wanted an easy way to talk about something that I've been messing around with. I've been last night I crocheted this trim on a pair of jeans that I'm DIYing. So I cut off the cuffs because I wanted it shorter, and now I figured a crochet trim would be cute. So I'm still exploring this technique, but I really do like the look that it made. So I'll be doing the second cuff while I'm on camera. And I should be able to see any questions if anyone wants to pipe up with that. But yeah. There's also, you might hear some thunder outside. It's the 4th of July. Thunder is unrelated to that, and in fact might interfere with normal 4th of July proceedings. And you might also hear fireworks, just like that. But anyway, let me show you what I'm doing. So I'm about to start the cuff of this. So I'm using leftover sock yarn. This, I can't remember what this is. I think it's Knit Picks Hawthorne. Yeah, I had it left over from an old sock project, and I'm using a small, very small crochet hook. This is a 2.5 millimeter hook. This was the smallest size I could find. And then I'm also using a double pointed needle, which I don't have a gauge with me, but it was one of the smallest I could grab in my jar. And I'm pretty sure it's either a size 1 or a size 2. So I'm using a DPN because I found that these hooks aren't sharp enough by themselves to go through the fabric. So I use this DPN first to pierce the denim. So like just like that. Sorry for the fireworks, y'all. Fuck the 4th. Fuck this holiday. But I just get a day off. So yeah, I use the DPN to make holes where I want the stitches to come out. I've been spacing them about, I would say, like a centimeter apart. So I do want it to start about a centimeter, again, a centimeter down from the cut edge. And I'm gonna do a couple of more holes. Okay, one more. Great. Yeah, so these holes do kind of close up as, right after you puncture them for some reason. I believe it's like the woven nature of the jeans. So denim is a woven fabric, and it's a little interesting to see how it interacts with crocheted stitches, which are usually more elastic. So now that I have these holes to guide where the stitches should go, I'm going to find the first hole that I made, go through, and then I am going to hook the yarn through. And I noticed that the hook does like to get caught on the fabric or the threads of the jeans. I'm sorry, this is just going to keep happening, especially as the night goes on. I mean, it's not even the night. It's 2:30, but anyway. So now that I have a loop hooked through, I'm going to just chain, and that should lock in the first stitch, and I'm going to chain again, chain 2, and then go into the second hole. And now I'm going to hook again. Oops. Yeah, so it does, the loop does slip sometimes. So now that I have the second one pulled through, I have to make sure that the loop is about the appropriate height. So about when it's just taut, not super tight, leaving some slack in it. I want it to be at the height where I want the edge to sit on the hem. So now I'm going to complete that. It's kind of like an extended single crochet, and then I'm going to chain 2 and then go into the next hole. And so here's where you can see the holes do kind of shrink up as you keep working into it. But I'm going to just find it again. And the holes seem to be more visible on the wrong side, as you can see. So that's sometimes, if I have trouble finding where the next hole should be, I just, I flip it over and look on this side. So I just did a single crochet and chain 2. So now I'm going to go into the next hole, hook through. So far this seems to be going really smoothly. Complete the, I guess, elongated single crochet and then chain 2. And then find the next hole. Yeah. Crochet is fun. I feel like I do crochet a lot more in the summer when it's warmer. Okay, so that's looking good. And I do try to keep the extended single crochets about the same height. So I've used up all the holes that I've made so far, so now I need to make more. I don't know why I don't like do all of the holes at once and then start crocheting into them. But I think it's just so I can pause and check more easily. But I'm just gonna keep uh, piercing the fabric with my DPN. Let's go a couple of inches at a time. Alright, maybe it's because I'm still not super confident in this technique. Okay. So now I'm gonna go back to crocheting. Yeah. Yeah, so sometimes it is a pain to hook it through, and I think that's just a quirk of crocheting into fabric that was not meant to be crocheted into. But anyway, this seems to be going well now. I found that the spacing of chain 2 between each single crochet was working well. It stretches with the fabric. Not that denim stretches too much. But I'd love to hear it. I wanted to try it. I do enjoy live streaming, but in the past, Instagram once, and I'm not sure now that Instagram has its Instagram Live feature. I haven't tried that yet. I don't want to, overextend myself on social media because it is kind of exhausting for me to put out content on multiple channels. Not really. I prefer to really just make and not care about publicizing what I do so much, but it's kind of necessary when I do this for part of my income. So sometimes the hook does run into the kind of the woven threads of the denim, but with some convincing it usually comes out. So chain 2, and then I have 2 more holes left before I have to make some more. Yeah, so on the wrong side, the hole usually is more visible. Though in this one it isn't really. Okay, there we go. There we go. Alright, and then this is the last hole I made, so I need to pause after this to make more. One, two. Okay. That's looking pretty good so far. Oh, hey. Hi, Tie-Dye Diva. So yeah, I'm actually about to pause and put some more holes in. So I have a double-pointed needle that I'm using to make the holes first. I'm trying to space them evenly. So I just take the double-pointed needle. Because my crochet hook isn't sharp enough, I don't know if they sell like sharp crochet hooks. That would be a pretty specialized tool. So, yep, I do need to make the holes first. Hope that answered your question. I'm going to make the holes all the way up to the side hem just because now I am more comfortable with the look of this and actually like staying in position while doing this on camera. I have my phone set up on a camera mount, so it's a fairly natural position for me, but I still have to be aware of where my hands are. All right, glad you're liking it. Yep, so I'm going to poke a hole right next to the seam. I don't want to go into the seam because that might not be the strongest place to do it, but that looks fine just right up against it. So now I'm going to keep crocheting into this. Yeah, I poked around on YouTube and I didn't see anyone really covering this technique yet. This is not a tutorial. I'm doing this more as a demo, but yeah, I hope this gets people thinking about crocheting trims onto different fabrics. Hi, Nancy. Hi from Texas. Well, oh, okay. Well, I'd be saying hi from New Jersey. Sorry. Yeah, there are fireworks going on outside. People are like setting little ones on the street. Oh, they do sell tools. Okay. One, two. What else I wonder what else people use the tools for? I'm sure there's like probably embossing tools that would be really good. One, two. But I don't plan on doing this too often, but I love collecting tools, especially little tiny tools that don't take up a lot of space. All right. Yep, so I pull up the loop to a good height and then I complete it like a single crochet. Oh, yeah, that's a good application. Yeah, I've seen those. I feel like I should make one of I've never actually made one of those flannel blankets. I know they're like really common craft like camp crafts where you take flannel and you like kind of knot them together to make fringe, or if you crochet, yeah, or like you teach a kid how to crochet along the edge. Yeah. I mean, I somehow accumulate enough blankets anyways. Yep. So I'm just gonna keep crocheting. Yeah, I find that there like it involves probably the hardest part about this process is wiggling out the initial loop after I put the hook through. But, like the chaining is just normal crochet. And I definitely err on the side of making the loops a little taller than they need to be, because if they were too short, then that would cause the edge of the jeans to roll. Okay, gonna keep crocheting. Yeah, I've been really intrigued by this idea of using crochet to embellish some of my old clothes. Like I have a pair of ripped jeans that are getting I mean, I bought them ripped as the fashions because fashion. But the holes have just gotten bigger and bigger until they're kind of ridiculous. So I'm thinking about like crocheting some patches or stuff to go onto the jeans. So this is kind of a test run. I have this pair of shorts that I wasn't wearing because they were a weird length. And so last night I decided to cut. Okay, so that was the last hole I had made. I'm going to make some more holes now. So I'm pull the loop out, pick up my DPN, and now I'm halfway across the jean cuff. So that's good. Oops, sorry. Ah, I just bumped it. Okay. So I'm just going to continue with the spacing, and now I'm on the other side of the seam, so that's good. And I should be able to just kind of clamp it down when I crochet over it. I'm just going to keep... Alright, just gonna go that far for now, and then I'm gonna switch back to crochet. There's the first hole. Okay, so going over this side seam might be a little bit weird. No, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, so then I'm gonna complete the single crochet and chain 2. So that looks fine. Yeah. Yeah, I like the little V's that the single crochet forms. Okay, this one's been difficult. One, 2. Next hole. Hmm. 1, 2. Now I have no idea how this will hold up to wear and tear. I mean, this is sock yarn, so it should be pretty strong. But it is finer than most yarns I see people crochet stuff with. I had some scraps of like fingering weight merino singles that I knew just would be too delicate for this to hold up and to... I don't know how this will wash. We'll see. 1, 2, and then I still have a few more, so let's keep going. Hook the loop through. There we go. 1, 1, 2. And then next one. Next hole. Where are you? There you are. Some of these are really difficult. I think I might just have to take the DPN and repoke that. There we go. This one's just giving me a lot of grief. Also, I notice when I do things live, I definitely fumble more. Yeah, it's probably stage fright, some form of it. Okay. 1, 2. 1 more, and then I have to poke more holes. So I'm also really able to feel with the kind of my finger on the back of the fabric. 2. Alright, so that was the last hole I made, so pull out the loop a bit. And then I think I can just go across the rest of this hem. So I'm just gonna go 1, 2. Keeping an eye on my spacing. I'm sure there are much more precise ways of doing this, but I'm going for the handmade aesthetic. All right, that lined up nicely. Okay. So now I should just be able to crochet to the end. This might be a little boring, so yeah, feel free to ask questions. There are a couple of people in here. Alright, pull the loop through. Or I can just sit here and talk to myself like I normally do when I'm crafting anyway, so that's fine. So it seems like in jeans, the weft color is white and the warps are blue? I don't know. Alright, single crochet, chain 1, chain 2, and then 1, 2. And I hope that this edge also prevents kind of the cutoffs from fraying after cutting, but who knows? We'll see how it holds up. Yeah. Yeah, you can already see some of the threads coming out. Okay, that one behaved nicely. 1, 2. Next one. Where are you? There you are. There we go. One, 2. Yeah, if anyone sees improvements in that I could make to this technique, I'd be glad to hear them. And again, this is all just me experimenting. Okay, I'm almost there. Ugh. I hope it thunderstorms again. So nice. Because I don't have air conditioning. Alright, pull the loop to its full height and then complete the single crochet. And then chain 1, chain 2, and then go through the next hole, pull out a loop, complete stitch, chain 1, chain 2. Thanks. I'm glad it's looking good. Yeah, I really like the finish of this. I think this would be... I chose a pretty white yarn because I didn't want this to contrast with the fabric. But I have sock yarn scraps in all sorts of colors. So it'd be cool to do like a granny stripe border or something. So like a row of one color, change colors, row of a different color. That would be really cute. Maybe for like shorter shorts, to lengthen them. One, two. Can't find this hole. Okay. Yeah, sometimes I just have to re-poke the holes a bit. Okay, through. And come out. Come on. There we go. And then single crochet. 1, 2. Next. Ah. There we go. Almost there. Ah. Lost it. There we go. 1, 2. And next one. Crochet. Ah, come on. Come on. Oy. Okay. Finished 1, 2. And then just a few more. And here we go. Alright. Pull up the loop. Single crochet, chain 1, chain 2. And then some of these holes are really difficult. I don't know if using maybe a bigger DPN would help, or if just make it, or if it might make the holes too big and then have the end product look a little messy. I'll play around with it. Alright, 1, 2, last one. Alright, chain 1, chain 2, and now I am going to, I mean, that's kind of a big gap. Nah, it's fine. So now I am going to join with a slip stitch in the first stitch, and that's it. So now I'm going to cut my yarn and have a tapestry needle ready to go. So one problem with this is that you don't have a lot of fabric to weave in your ends into. So what I did in the other one, I normally use a really small tapestry needle, and that's even like sharp. I think this might be the biggest sewing needle from a pack of needles, so it might be an upholstery needle. I don't know sewing needles too well, but it is it's sharp, so I could poke this through the denim if I wanted to. But for weaving in these ends, I am going to try to just keep it in the yarn so that it's hidden as well as possible. So this is the end that I pulled through, so I am going to go back into the first stitch and then back into where it came out of, just to at least like make that join a little more invisible. So that looks pretty good. And then I think what I did for the other cuff was I just kind of I snaked along the chain edge of this trim, kind of going up and then back a couple of stitches and then snaking up some more. And the sharp needle really helps because I can go into the yarn instead of just between the strands of yarn. So I can go in between the plies of the yarn and weave it in that way. So let's see. So I'm just trying to get it secure. Now I'm zigzagging back up and down. Alright, now I think that's good enough. I'm going to cut it real close to the surface. That's one end, and now the second end. Okay, yeah, so this one was one that came out of the original stitch, and you can see that V is kind of missing one leg. So I'm going to go up into the chain to kind of mock up that second leg of the V. Go in, go back and forth. So I wove one tail going this way. I'm going to take this tail and go this way. Alright, now I'm just going to go up this way a bit. And then I think a couple more back and forths. I am really paranoid when I weave in my ends. I don't know if other people weave as much as I do. I definitely try to go in and out, back through where some of my yarn, where I had already woven in to like really lock in the end. So I think that's good. So yeah, now it's done. And I'm pretty happy with the spacing. I really like how the little speckles in this yarn show up in little bits. And yeah, these are going to be cute. They're a little bit above my knee. So I think this is definitely the kind of trim that's like less is more. This is enough of a special feature for this pair of shorts now. I think it would also be cute if I crocheted some trim along the top of these pockets. But maybe I'll do that another time. For now, this was just a hem, and I think that's going to bring me to the end of this video, unless anyone has any last questions. This has been a fun experiment. The second pair of jeans I'm going to do, I need to do a bit more planning, but this is kind of the ridiculously large holes that I told you about. And it's even worse on this leg. So this like shows my entire freaking knee.